and Evgeny Malkin on 2 power plays instead of having both guys on one. They're going to put Crosby on the first one, Malkin on the second one. I guess you got to do whatever it takes to kind of get a spark going right now for the Penguins or on the power play. You know, the team's playing pretty good or pretty well, or at least it seems like Mike Sullivan is happy with the way they are playing right now. Maybe they didn't get a couple of wins along the way, but you sense that they feel like that they're playing the right way. And even if they don't get a win now, those wins might come if they continue to play the way they are and they continue to get halfway decent goaltending. That's been an issue here a little bit lately. But, you know, the Pens with a nice win, a comeback win, 4 straight goals last night against the Islanders. They got Chicago. 11 more games left in the month of November, and you could probably pretty much count out Chris Letang for the rest of those games. That would just be a guess. If you're saying week to week, to me, that's 2-3 weeks, and maybe Letang will play in sometime in December. That's just a hunch. It's a lower body injury, but when you say week to week, to me, that's like a month. That's like Evgeny Malkin being out for the first month of the season. So 11 games left. It starts with the Blackhawks on Saturday, and then they go back on the road for a couple more. But a jam-packed schedule here for the rest of the month of November. Let's go out to the phone lines. We're going to go out to John in Greentree. What's up, John?
What's up, man? How you doing, man? How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for calling, John from Greentree.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I want to know if James Conner's playing Sunday. Thank you very much.
Hey, John, appreciate it. I just mentioned earlier in that first block that James Conner is not playing on Sunday, so take him out of your fantasy football lineup. And the running back position right now for the Steelers is pretty thin. No Benny Snell, no James Conner, no Rosie Nix. So you know what that means. That means Trey Edmonds, first of all, is going to be your backup. But he was limited in practice this week. He did participate fully today. Is going to be the backup for the Steelers. I wouldn't be surprised if they just go with those 2 guys, or I wouldn't be surprised either way. Or they would have to activate Darren Hall. You know, he has to be signed to the active roster and taken off the practice squad. He's on the practice squad right now, so they would have to move him up to the active roster and make another corresponding move to get him up there on Sunday. And that could happen if they think they need a third running back. That potentially could happen. I wouldn't mind seeing Darren Hall out there potentially getting a couple carries, even potentially being your backup. But, you know, right now I think that they're going to have to get creative. I would expect Jalen Samuels to get the bulk of those carries. You're going to have to rely on this guy. I think he's a pretty good running back. He's also a great pass catcher. He can do a lot back there for. So I don't think he's not the guy that I'm worried about. I'm just worried about depth. I'm worried about if he gets hurt or something happens in the game. But I'm okay with Jalen Samuels starting in instead of James Conner. But they got to get that guy healthy. James Conner seems to miss a lot more than he doesn't. And maybe that's just a perception. But he has played in a lot of games. But he seems like he's always injured or always dealing with an injury. And I guess that's what you get when you're that type of power running back, you know, always seeking out contact. So, all right, back out to the phone lines. We're going to go out to Pete out in Squirrel Hill. What's up, Pete?
Hey, Rich, my man. How are you tonight?
Good. Thanks for calling, buddy.
All right. Hey, Rich, you kind of hit the nail on the head and everything why I was calling. The reason James Conner is hurt all the time, Rich, if you look at his body, he is not built to be a physical runner. That's not Jim Brown, Earl Campbell, or Adrian Peterson.
Or Jerome Bettis, you know, those kind of guys, yeah.
He needs to try to avoid contact, not seek it out, because if you don't have that body type to withstand that punishment, Rich, it's going to break down on you consistently. So I'm sure the coaching staff is aware of it also.
Pete, let me interrupt you real quick. I don't think he's the type of running back. He's not a shifty type, get to the outside type running back. He's not even like a Le'Veon Bell, elusive. This guy's more of a power runner. He doesn't have those kind of moves, I don't think.
The example that you could look to is, Rich, what about Christian McCaffrey?
Well, yeah,
Christian McCaffrey, he was passed in the draft because a lot of teams thought he couldn't run between the tackles. And look what he is doing. So his running style is a style that Conner should try to emulate, not trying to take on guys
yeah,
all
but
the time.
Pete, he's not
and
that
not
type of
avoid the
running back.
contact.
He's not that type of running back. I mean, I don't think he's a contact type running back, obviously, either, because he has a tendency of getting hurt. But he's not shifty. He's not as fast as some of those guys. He's not as elusive as a Christian McCaffrey. I think, Pete, running back is priority next year. I think they need to go out and find someone, whether it's out in free agency or they're going to draft someone high. I think either running back, wide receiver, those would be my two priorities early in the draft. That with that second-round pick and the compensatory third-round pick. But then you're also going to be looking for an outside linebacker. Now you're going to have a little bit of money to spend next year because you're losing the dead money from Antonio Brown, or some of it. But I'm sure Roethlisberger's new contract will take some of that up, and maybe they'll put the tag on Bud Dupree just to get to the next year to figure out what they're going to do on the outside linebacker. But those are still for me, those are the positions of need next year: outside linebacker, running back, wide receiver. Those are the positions I would be targeting. Maybe you could even say tight end. So they definitely have some needs. But running back, in my mind, is one of them. All right, we got to take a break. Back with your phone calls, 412-575-2600. A couple tweets I want to read. That's all coming back in 2 minutes. See you then.